Alright, hello everyone, good morning and welcome back to the channel. So today it's Tuesday, day after bank holiday. Yesterday we got the silage mowed on the 9-acre field and there wasn't much crop there, unfortunately. The second cut's not been great, but there's going to be some bales off there which we'll take off and wrap today or tomorrow. I've just got these bales over here and there's about 105. They're at the bottom of this field which actually gets quite muddy in the winter, and we had another shed in the yard which was just empty. And if I can get 30 or 40 of these bales in the shed, that's 30, 40 more bales which are going to be dry over winter. And just on the left we've got the turnips here, which were drilled only a few weeks ago, and you can already see they're starting to come up. There is a lot of pigeons and rooks at this time of the year, and it will get worse, I think, that as the turnips come up, as there's more foliage and more, of the leaf showing, that's when the pigeons really start to hammer them. So I was hoping this year I'm just getting a rope banger, which you can just leave in the field somewhere in a basically like in a hedge, and then the bangers just go off every half hour. So we'll see how it works out. Listening to the radio, you'd think that the world's going mad. I generally try not to listen to the radio anymore, or the news too much, because it's all getting a bit depressing, really. Not the best headlines at the moment with everything going on in the world, so it's not a bad time to be in farming and just getting on with your work, really. I'll just listen to some music otherwise. And in other news, I've been looking at a secondary tractor, as I said in the last video I did when I was mucking out, and I've found one. It's a lovely tractor. It's fairly low hours, and I'm going to ring them up today and find out about it. It's been difficult because of yesterday being bank holiday. We'll have to wait and see. You have to wait and see on that one. I just want to see if I can improve the visibility, so I'm going to take off the top guard here, which is good for carrying an extra bale, and because I'm only carrying 2 today. We'll see how it goes. Okay, there we go. So I can see the points at the top of the bale spike now, so I can see when I'm going into the bale shed. I've just put a few pallets down in here today. There we go. They can just sit there, and then I'll put another couple on top, maybe put one in the corner. I'm using a side squeeze now because it's just handy, really, around the shed. With the twin spike, I can get 2 on one side, then I can't get the last one on because of the twin spike. So whereas with the side squeezes, I can pincer it like that, and it becomes very narrow. You know what I mean? So yeah, that'll stay dry in there over winter. All right, so we put all the bales in the shed, and this time of the year, it's autumn. We've got this tree which has come down, and I've been meaning to move it for a while. I don't know if you can see, I've just cut a line through this side and this side. I'm planning to just cut this log into 3 bits. It's quite a big tree, but I've first got to turn it around because I've just cut a line, but I can't get to the bottom. So we'll turn it around with the loader. And I got a pair of these good foam glasses this time around for the saw. And as long as I go steady, I can put these branches and stuff in the back of the dump trailer and then just tip them in the yard. But what we want the tree for is, one, it clears it up, but also we want to chip it next week when we get the chipper in for the boiler, which is what we use to heat the farm, heat all the buildings over winter. Loaded up, and this is where I dragged the tree out from yesterday. It's an old brook which flows through the farm, and the tree had come down. It was sitting here. I was just looking down here at the water because we used to see a lot of fish in this particular brook, sticklebats and newts, and a lot of wildlife. And sometimes if you came out and sat by the brook, you'd see frogs and toads. They're still around, but I just don't think they're around in the numbers that they used to be around, if you know what I mean. And I think it's probably got a lot to do with population growth. There's a lot of houses being built in Norfolk now, which there never used to be. Just in Loddon down the road, there's another 500 houses, more than that, I think they want to build another 1,000 homes in the next 10 years there. I mean, if you look here, I'm just sitting here for 10 minutes this morning, just waiting for some wildlife. I normally see some things, but it's a bit sad, really. And tadpoles, you know, in spring you see a lot of tadpoles. I don't see them around so much at springtime. So I'd love to actually get this water out at some point and get a sample and test it. So if there's anyone out there from a water testing company, I'd like to test this water and just see what the quality's like. Because they say a lot about farmers, you know, farmers polluting the environment, doing a lot of bad things with, you know, the new muck spreading law, which they want to bring in next year, which a lot of farmers I'm sure will abide by. But I think it's just something to consider. You know, what about all these new houses which are being built? What are they putting into the water courses? That's something just to consider, I think, before we, you know, everyone wants to save the environment, and you know, I want to help as much as I can, but I don't think we can help, you know, when they're putting up houses left, right, and centre. I just don't think that's necessarily environmentally friendly. You know, I think we need a more. Well, it's just very sad, really. I think the way, you know, everything's going in this country, actually. But you know, we can just do our best on this farm and try and look after it as best as we can. I can't control what goes into here, you know, further up the stream in the villages and towns and cities, which this country seems to be turning into, just one big town, really. But nature will put itself right. It always does. It always does. It'll find a way. Alright, we'll drop this back in the yard and I'll tip it with a tractor because I haven't got spools on this loader at the moment. Might get one fitted just for the dump trailer, but we'll drop it back in the shed, in the yard. Alright, we've just put that wood on the heap for next week. We'll get Colin in from Colin's Farming and Forestry with his fence to chip that up, and then we'll dry out the chip in the shed just with some of their aerating fans, and then we'll burn that wood over the winter for heating. And I'm just now on the 9 acres field, and not great, it's pretty thin. I'm going to row it up tomorrow. It's just quite a thin crop, really. There's just not much here. It should make fairly well. There is a good amount of clover in it as well, this particular crop. And I don't know if you can see here where it's just gone a browny tingy colour, where it's just started to burn off, and that's because our farm's so sandy. If you want a second cut, you've got to have a hell of a lot of water. And we just didn't have enough rainfall, even though it's been a fairly wet harvest for some people, I know. We just didn't have enough rainfall here to get a good second cut. And also the nitrogen, when it was put on too late. I don't know how many bales there's going to be. There's probably only going to be like 20 bales off here, but it's better than nothing. But just a lesson, really, that on this farm, if you want a second cut, you've got to have a hell of a lot of water. And then in the next video, you guys are going to see the Defender. The Land Rover's great. I'm really enjoying my Land Rover. As a lot of you guys have been asking questions about it, we're taking it to a Land Rover specialist who's going to have a look over it in Norwich, and we're going to find out if there's anything wrong with it. They're also going to show me how to maintain it. Apparently there's some greasing points I need to look out for, and there's also some modifications and things you can apparently do to them. I like Land Rover's OEM original, but there's just a few tweaks you can do to them just to help them last a bit longer and stand the test of time. So apparently you don't buy a Land Rover, you just become the custodian of it to look after them into the future, really. So yeah, they're going to be showing us how to look after a Land Rover and maintain it for the future. So thanks very much for watching today's video, and I will catch you on the next one.